And welcome back to the channel. Today I'm making a lighting rig just to have something to hold camera and a light over my workbench so I can see what I'm doing. I'm just making this out of some PVC pipes and parts, joints, fittings, etc. So here we go. I'm just measuring out one of the first sections. I think this is the narrow one. So I'm just measuring it out into about a half, and then I'll start cutting it. Trying to go with the old adage here of measure twice, cut once. Just moving everything around onto the workbench. I've made myself a fenced cutting board here. So I've got something, as you can see there, I've got something to push against to make sure everything's level, make a nice level cut. And here we go. Got my mark all laid up against my fence. Make sure my blade's up against that fence to make sure that it is a good 90-degree straight cut. And also, guys, try and keep your workbench clear. I'm not very good at that. As you can see, I'm bashing away at some parts there. And move it out of the way. There we go. I'm cutting through. Nice, steady, even strokes. PVC is pretty easy to cut. You're going to see this a lot in this video, so sorry if it's a bit boring. Put everything away. Just rotate my parts around. I had a brainwave while I was doing this. You'll see that in a bit. Make life a little bit easier for myself. And there we go, and that's the first section cut in half. Just moved it off with my fingers off camera there. They're off to one side. There we go. Yeah, that's me just putting them off to one side there. Oh, great tracksuit. Jogging bottoms and on a hoodie. The epitome of the grey man. As you can see, my workshop's actually quite small. It's just a spare room in my home. I've got a plan over the summer to build an actual workshop out in the garden. I've got a small shed that's full of stuff. The boxes in the corner are beekeeping equipment. I'm a beekeeper as a hobby as well. There'll be some videos about that this year. Yeah, coming up. Quite extensive plans of all the stuff I'm doing that I'm going to film. So there I am, just marked up halfway again on this piece. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the thickest, this is the larger section diameter pipe. I've used two here. I want this rig to be adjustable height, just so I can get a good point of view over the workbench. And I'm just cutting through again. Yeah, there we go. Well, I could have edited that out a bit better, but you get the point. Like I said, there's a lot of cutting involved, especially later on. But PVC is pretty easy to cut through, so it's all good. And I think here, you can just see me slowly start, you can just see me rotating the pipework as I go. It's a lot easier doing it that way than the way I did it before. But I got 3/4 of the way through, then rotated the whole lot, then cut again. Just keep rotating the pipework as you go, as you're cutting down. So you end up with a nice, straight, level, 90-degree cut. Yeah, the cutting board helps. Yeah. So here we go with the just test fit with a small diameter pipe going in. That'll be my top joint for the boom arm of the lighting rig. It's a boom arm design. I went with that rather than a H because in principle at least I could always take it apart and take it out into the field with me if I wanted to do some overhead shots of say like beehives or something like that. Now here we go. I've got another piece. This is the other half of the I think it's 32 mil. Yeah, I think I had to think then. I think it was a 32 mil, this one. And the other was, I think, 26, something like that. I can't remember. But here we go. Yeah, more cutting. Yeah, that's me just tidying up. Keep tidying as you go. Makes for a much more pleasant workspace. Yeah, it's a good practice to do. Especially if you're having to mark lines on things. If you've got a piece of wood or metal and it's resting on something, a burr or just dust, you can throw your marks out. So, tidy as you go, guys. Yeah. So what I'm doing here now is just cutting this half section down into 6. Is it 6? Yes, it is 6. Quick mental calculation. Into 6 equal parts for the H for a H profile for the feet. So you'll just see me mark it off. I've already worked it out off camera. So mark off. There we go. Traditional Sharpie pen. Yeah, I've got into the habit of making sure the lid's always put back on Sharpie pens because they dry out really quickly, a lot quicker than you think. And yet again, I've got something in the way, which would be the Sharpie pen. One of the downsides of having a small space, I guess. I'm just being a clumsy fool. So yeah, don't worry, you're not going to see me do this 6 times, just the once. No, I will have a little trick. No, it's not even a trick, it's a good practice for the last piece. It'll be coming up soon. And I am just rotating slowly the pipe as I cut down. And as you can see there, my blade was up against a fence on my cutting board. So, next one. Mark. I did it that way just to make allowance for the kerf. I didn't want to pre-mark everything because obviously you're removing material, so every subsequent section is a little bit smaller. Here I've just took the longer section, flipped it round, put that up against the fence, so I've got a nice wide surface area up against the fence, making sure everything's 90 degrees. It's easy to do that. I'm right-handed. Obviously if you were left-handed you would build a fence with the cutting side on the left side rather than the right. You get the point. So, and that's the last one. Once I've done all this, just got to tidy up all the edges, get rid of some of all that, yeah, get it all brush out, sweep it all away from where I'm working, and then start putting everything together. Here you are, you're just basically making a big H with a central upright. So, yeah. Obviously all the elbows and joints are all sized correctly for the right pipes. So you need 6 at 32 and then 2 at whatever the other one was. The middle one being an adapter. I should really have checked what size the small pipe was. Here we go. The bit I made earlier that I put off to one side. Take the upright and boom joint off. Get them all pushed together. And that is pretty well much it. It's nothing fancy. It's just made out of plastic PVC pipe. It's cheap. It'll do the job. And until I can grow this channel into something where I can actually go out and buy some proper kit. But it just goes to show you what you can do with just cheap off-the-shelf parts, basically. Money is not an excuse. You will find a solution. And that's basically the whole ethos of my channel, is starting from scratch. Everyone can do it. Here I am just test fitting everything. I just wanted to do all this before I started gluing it all together. Because obviously you're going to have, especially the feet. I didn't glue the upright into the joint, but all the foot parts needed to be glued, as did the boom arm joint. Yeah, just sliding that down. And there we go. Yeah. Now I'm just having a quick test. Well, I'm just judging it by eye really here, about how far out my boom arm wants to go. Obviously I need it to go out over the workbench there, so I'm just measuring it up. Just in, do I need to cut it? Yeah. Having a bit of a decision-making moment there. I decide not to. It's going to be cantilevered anyway. What I'll do later on is I'll put another shorter pipe on the other side of the joint that I can hang a weight on, and that'll cantilever it. As you can see, it's all a bit floppy at the moment. Nothing's glued. Because I'm a genius, I didn't actually film that part. I did glue it all together later, and you'll see in a photo in a minute. But you get the idea there that I can swing it around, move it around however I need. And that's it. One lighting rig. Hopefully. Obviously it's a bit low. Yeah, there we go. Up and down. What I'll do is I'll just drill some holes straight through, set distances apart so it can be adjustable. Just put a bolt through and we're good to go. So, yeah, as you can see, moving around. And here's the final product coming up now. Oh, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And see you in the next video. Thanks. Oh, and don't forget, I'm also on Odyssey, BitChute and Rumble. And all the usual links for donations, etc. Cryptocurrency are all in the description. I'll see you in the next video.
Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.